I had someone ask me a pretty interesting question recently, and I thought it was worth talking about on here. There were a couple different aspects to the question overall, but it was essentially built around the same premise concerning Gentiles, which is a term that refers to anyone who is not a Jew. The question was, are Gentiles still under the law? The law referring to the Old Testament laws that God gave to the Israelites through Moses. Essentially, the question asks, if you're not Jewish and a follower of Christ in the New Covenant, can you simply disregard all the laws of the Old Testament? In order for us to answer this question, we first have to understand the nature of the New Covenant. The New Covenant was established when Jesus died on the cross to pay the price of people's sin. Without accepting Jesus' sacrifice, we would have to pay the price for our sin, which is death. This New Covenant, then, already comes with the context that people can sin. Sinning is going against God's will. Although it was possible to sin before the law was given to Moses, what the law did was set in stone, quite literally, things that went against God's will, and it provided a pathway for people to be reconciled with God through animal sacrifices. Now, when Jesus is talking about this law, he states he did not come to abolish the law, but rather to fulfill the law. If Jesus fulfills the law rather than abolishing it, that means that the law is still in effect. You see, the law demanded that blood be spilled to pay for the sins of God's people. The only real change that Jesus made to the law when he died on the cross was that now, instead of people having to regularly sacrifice animals to pay the price for their sin, they could now claim the blood of Jesus that was an innocent life slain to pay the price of our sin. In that way, the law that revealed sin and paved a way for people to be reconciled to God was fulfilled the way it was originally intended. This didn't get rid of the law, it basically put the cherry on top. Now, another important thing that Jesus' death did was that it made this reconciliation with God available not only to Jews, but to Gentiles as well. Since Jesus died to pay the price of sin for the entire world, Gentiles are now able to claim the blood of Christ to receive salvation. In doing so, they become grafted into the family of God, joining the Jewish people. This means that salvation that Gentiles receive in the New Covenant is only made possible by putting ourselves under the fulfilled law of Moses given by God that culminates in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. We cannot put ourselves under the sanctifying and saving blood of Christ without also putting ourselves under the Old Testament law, because the sacrifice of Jesus is a part of the Old Testament law. We simply no longer have to sacrifice animals to purify ourselves from sin, because Jesus' sacrifice has already paid that price for us. We no longer become unclean because Jesus has made us clean. Of course, this also means that those who live outside of the law of God also do not receive the salvation from Christ that reconciles us with God. Our only choices are to either put ourselves under both the law of God with the salvation of Jesus, or to reject both of them altogether. Those two things cannot be separated from each other. Jesus' sacrifice that paid for our sin is tied to the law of God found in the Old Testament. Jesus did not abolish that law, but fulfilled it for our sake. If you're interested in talking to me more about this subject, or if you have a question you'd like to ask me, I encourage you to contact me either through this program's Facebook page or by emailing me at sermoninthepocket@gmail.com. And for those of you who are interested in helping me cover the cost of this program, the best way to do that is by pledging a monthly support on my Patreon page. And I encourage all of you to share this program with family and friends to help spread the message. As always, thank you for taking the time to listen, and I pray that you have a wonderful day.